try to box her out. Easier said than done. As we're ready for the tip here at Moody Coliseum. And it will go to Duke. 6-1 coming in the ACC, picked third in the preseason. And now a couple of big wins at home, but Kara Lawson, the head coach, saying, now we'll see how we do on the road. Little different story sometimes when you get out traveling.
Yeah, we saw this SMU team, come alive against Stanford. And not do as well against Cal, but you see the starting lineup. And keep an eye, I should say, on number 1, Jones, as well as number 4, Woods. Those are 2 players for this squad that are X factors. They can give you 20 on any given night.
You said it, Shantae Embry, the junior forward, not on the team right now playing because of the injury, and that is so unfortunate. But that's the way you got to start for the Mustangs. First points to them. Yeah,
well, talk about an X factor as well. Ella Brow starting tonight. She is the 3-point threat for this team, and she also plays with a lot of moxie and confidence. And SMU going to start off in zone here against Duke, trying to force them to shoot from the outside.
Just the second start of the season for Ella Brow. And this crowd making some noise as well. See how Duke handles the zone. Good movement without the ball in the interior. And the shot for Donovan no good, but another chance. Jackson, too many chances for the Blue Devils.
Ashlon Jackson is a 3-point threat at any given moment she's on the floor. And she's local here, just within 3 hours away, so a lot of family in the house for Miss Jackson.
Oh, Brick, you know she's going to want to be playing big tonight. That's a great start for her, the junior out of China, Texas. An excellent topside D, the takeaway. Outrunning, layup good. Defense to offense for Duke.
And that's exactly what you see, is so much of their offense is created from their defense. I mean, just look at the on-ball defense and the positioning, the footwork Ashlon Jackson's given. It starts at the guard level, and here comes Jaden Donovan with her reach.
Yeah, Kara Lawson said, that's something that's really been standing out lately. We've been playing elite defense and doing it consistently.
Yeah, she just loves the way everybody is flying across the floor. It's 1 through 5.
Shot clock down to 3. High post jumper, swish. Beautiful finish by Kasia Woods. Kasia had been coming off the bench, is now a starter without Embry.
And gives you that senior leadership, big-time playmaker, and had come from another program in Xavier, so she's got some big experience and has to step in. We told you Embry is out. She was a big disruptor in the paint for SMU.
Well, she certainly was. Just the 5th start of the season for Woods, and now the takeaway by SMU. Jones trying to catch up to it, but a little too far was the lead from Brow. All tied up 5 apiece. Good start for SMU. They don't seem to be rattled. On the other side, it's Kara Lawson's team, and it says Duke on the jerseys.
Kara Lawson is really proud of the way that this team is developing right now. She loves their chemistry, and she loves the way they're executing, not only on defense, but one of their better scoring teams as well. That young woman can do it with the best of them, shooting from deep again.
Perfect behind the arc, Ashlon Jackson, and going to keep her family and friends in the house making some noise if she keeps this up. Averaging 12 points per game, and she's already got 6. Again, hand in the passing lane. Thomas with a takeaway.
Yeah, Delaney Thomas got in the right position, and Ashlon Jackson with as much pressure as she's putting on the ball handler. Both of them were responsible for grabbing that steal.
And a miscue up top, and maybe rushing just a bit there. Kara Lawson having a conversation with T. Mayer. Taina, the junior point guard. There's the head coach for the Mustangs, Toya Wilson. She's in her 4th season as the head coach and brings the passion. First season in the ACC, so a lot of new going on for the Mustangs.
I have to say, I just love Coach Wilson's approach to joining this league and her confidence. You talk about Duke's defense, and rightly so. A lot of coaches will kind of give you that, a little bit of that. We're going to figure it out.
Yep.
Coach Wilson was like, yeah, I think we can score on them. I think we can find our spots.
Yeah. First thing she said, high screen for Brow. Dumps it down and good. Working the clock all the way down as well.
I think putting Brow in the lineup right now has given SMU some of that stability, and she's been able to run the offense a bit. I mean, you've got so much scoring in Nia Robinson, so now you're going to have her punch power come off the bench and give you that electricity that you need right when you need it.
Well, it had been Kasia Woods coming in and bringing a spark, and so we'll see Nia Robertson potentially coming off the bench will definitely bring a spark and some flash. TK Pitts on the inbound for SMU. It's a fairly veteran team with 7 transfers in, just 1 freshman for SMU this year. Jones, so quick with the ball. Here's Brow. Guarded by Jackson, trying to stay with her, and they're gonna call a hand check on Ashlon Jackson. Her first, team's first. A lot of the physicality that we will see tonight. We'll see how they call this game as well, and that's something these teams are going to have to figure out. But both coaches said physical play on the interior will be key. These are both big rebounding teams.
Yeah. Well, so far so good. We've only had 1 foul called in 5 minutes. I'll take it.
That's right. Aggressive D. And getting tripped up. Reagan Richardson got the steal, and then she got tripped up trying to get out on the break.
Yep. You know, Duke's ability to deflect and do it the right way with that outside hand, and the two get tangled up. Richardson ended up on the floor. I mean, you're looking at many WNBA prospects, and that's certainly one to keep your eye on as well. Reagan Richardson, the 5'11" senior. You know, the two-way players for Duke. This is the reason why so many WNBA scouts have been through. Yeah. They've seen, okay, we know that they have what it takes to play at the next level.
All ACC second team last year as just into the ball game. Vanessa DeJesus with a bucket. And Duke with a 4-point lead. 4 of their last 5 have dropped. SMU, though, 3 for 3, their last 3 field goals. They're right in this one.
I like how they've executed in the half court. They have gotten the ball inside, back out. They're switching 2 and 3 sides. TK Pitts putting it on the floor and making a hard reverse. Now look at the Mustangs sprinting back on defense. They know that Duke is looking to score. Yep. And you cannot go under the screen with her.
She had a lot of room and a look at this one. But SMU hanging right in this one. The second start of the season for Ella Brow.
Now, when you need some distance and you need some big shots, Brow is up for the challenge. She likes the limelight. She likes it here in Moody, all the way from Australia. Brow with the dish, and SMU within 2. Passes and read the defense.
Nia Robertson in after the break. She had been starting 18 starts on the season, the junior out of Fort Worth, Texas. So we'll see if she can bring the kind of spark we've seen her do this season.
Well, for SMU tonight, you just need to execute. You need to make the simple play, and don't think about making the highlight reel. Think about making the play simple.
So far, they've done just that. Pitts gets double teamed, knocked to the floor, and no whistle. It'll stay with SMU, 7 on the shot clock.
You know, Pitts busted through the defense here and meeting the principle of verticality with Toby Fournier, one of my favorite rules in this game. It's like you should not be punished for going up there to meet a shot blocker. And she's straight up, and she just happened to block your shot.
Shot well off the mark, and here's Fournier into the game, gives it up. Richardson trying to push the tempo with the defense swarming from SMU, and another takeaway for the Mustangs. They got numbers. Make that extra pass, the right decision. Jones, high post, hit it.
Yep.
Making the extra pass, Brooke, that's something that Coach Wilson's talked about.
That was beautifully executed transition. And, you know, Coach Wilson talks a lot about swing plays. It's a nice take. Lucia Kanawa is so hard to stay in front of. Is she not? I mean, talk about explosive and first step and competitive.
Brings the energy. She's that energy player. Just a game changer is what Coach Lawson has said about her.
Ooh.
And stepping on the sideline, it'll be a turnover. That was Robertson.
SMU's last possession. Look at that. You drive, you dish. I love this. Not a lot of dribbles, and then a 1-2 dribble pull-up. You execute. These are the types of shots. Exactly, that Toyle Wilson was saying, hey, I think we can get good looks against this team. I think we can score. And those are the ways.
SMU, a loss to North Carolina, number 14 at the time, only scored 33 points in that one. They struggled with their scoring. They needed a game to get the shot going. And then at Notre Dame, a much better performance, but tough to go to South Bend against the number 3 team in the nation. Ball fake. Kanawa in the paint. Fournier with the cleanup. Perfect position on the weak side.
Yeah, she reads the glass so well. And is incredibly athletic, so when she does time her jumps, I mean, that's the reason she's able to block a lot of shots. And they dunk a few basketballs here and there.
She's capable. They list her at 6'2", but impressive wingspan. And yeah, she has definitely been able to dunk it. We've yet to see it in the college game, though. Maybe tonight. And the turnaround, Woods has had a hot hand.
6 foot, gives you so many options. She can really spread the defense. And she's been somebody that she was willing to step up as soon as Embry went down. She was a player who, you know, I was impressed with her in Stanford and Cal game.
Yeah, I was as well. Beautiful 3 there from Akanawa, sophomore out of Boston, Mass. Back up to a 4-point lead for Duke.
How about Alucia Akanawa coming in with 5 quick points, the second leading scorer for this Duke team. Only played a couple minutes.
ACC's 6th player of the year a season ago.
Oh.
That one did all but drop. It looked good for Woods. Jordan Wood on for Duke. She's in the high post. Help D coming over, and maybe even some contact. What a finish from Fournier.
Right? Through the double team with contact, able to score and did not seem phased whatsoever. I mean, played that position, got down low, just said, hey, call for the ball. And this is what, you know, to me, you start to watch elements of how Duke plays. They have leadership, they have balance, scoring, they pass the ball, they defend. I mean, they are a team that is going to go deep, deep, deep in the tournament this year. We'll tell you more about that a little later.
So taking a seat, Reagan Richardson as the foul call. One thing SMU's been doing is they know how great this defense is from Duke. So if you can run and push tempo, you don't give them a chance to get set up and get into the line. This is Robertson. First game off the bench this year. First free throw good. And hey, we've got 3 more women's games for you Sunday here on ACC Network. At noon Eastern, Florida State meets 13th ranked North Carolina. Then at 2, BC takes on Wake Forest. We'll wrap up the day at 6 Eastern with Virginia Tech and number 20 North Carolina State in Raleigh. This conference has just been all over the board. Oh, you cannot look past anyone. And I know Coach Lawson coming into this one said, I'm not looking at that record, right? We are not going to look past this team. You really can't in the ACC.
Yeah, this is a fantastic game because you have Duke, a team that's, you know, like I said, prepped and ready to go far in the tournament. And SMU is a team that, you know, if they can get to the tournament this year, nobody's going to want to face them.
That's right. Tonight, Jones with the jumper. Confident shot from her. Fournier on the baseline. Wow, up and under good.
Yeah, she's feeling it. Trying to get back on defense quickly, too. Pitts. That's the play you're talking about. You want to be able to respond quickly. In this last 49 seconds, kind of critical here in the first quarter. You want to keep it close this entire game. I mean, that's just great footwork and just phenomenal finesse and finish.
Awareness. She had 1 defender on her, and when she knew where the positioning was of the defender, she was able to come up and finish.
And you know what? That takes a lot of strength in your balance to be able to put the ball on the floor and step by the baseline, but not take your momentum out of bounds.
Yeah, certainly does. First free throw good for TK Pitts. Fournier, the number 10 recruit in the nation. Her versatility, her length. She's a competitor too. That one won't drop for Pitts. And Fournier with the rebound. Under a minute left in this first quarter. Speaking of versatility, wow, high to low, crossover dribble, and she's going to go to the free throw line.
It's a little Allen Iverson, a little shake by and getting through again. And I mean, the way she's able to just keep her head up at the rim, keep her balance. I mean, a lot of players would get through that first body and bang and be all over the floor. But again, her strength and balance keeps her upright to be able to get the shot off.
She's taking it right at Sandra Magalico, who's checked in. And the foul, though, on Woods was her first, and the free throw good. Seven points, trying to add to it. ACC Freshman of the Week for the 3rd time, gets them both. And coming back in, Delaney Thomas. That's a player that Coach Lawson says is really the anchor of the defense. If they're young, it's in kind of that forward spot, and she really brings a calming presence for the D.
Well, she's already been very impactful in this game. She's gotten in front of the SMU players a couple times, and she and Ashlon Jackson have created some steals together. She's a very aware defender. I see her out there right now, a lot of talking, head on a swivel. I'm like, yeah, I want her in my paint.
That is what you need, and using the screen, holding the follow through. Nia Robertson with the 3 ball. SMU within 3, this first quarter winding down. No hesitation, that one won't go for Wood. Long rebound, another chance, and just short was to Jesus. And one more chance maybe for SMU. But the kind of first quarter you have to have, if you're SMU, you're going in very confidently into this timeout.
Well, it sure helps to hit a big 3.
So
I do. I think this might be an under-the-radar team not a lot of people are talking about. And Ashlon Jackson going for the extra effort play right in front of us. Love to see it. You know, but this is a team that has balanced scoring, a very difficult strength of schedule. In fact, the 2nd hardest in the country. They've got a bench that gives you close to 30 points a game. They're a defensive nightmare. They can score and they can share the basketball. So to me, these are all very good and strong ingredients. Plus, you know, the chemistry is good on this team.
It certainly is. I mean, this is a group that Coach Lawson told us, said, I really like this team. They are fun. They have so much energy. So they're really a close group. And that means something when you get down the road, when things get tough, how the team responds.
Well, it's teams like this, too, that you have to get wins like this on the road because, you know, Moody's a tough place to play. Toyle Wilson is an excellent coach who is, you know, really making the most of her first season in the ACC. Already a couple of wins and, you know, big ones at that. So the ladies are playing confident, and that's the most important.
Well, they should be after that first quarter, shooting almost 67%. That's what you got to do. Oh, but that quick release using the screen, that's Jackson once again.
Yeah, it is the entire Jackson family we're hearing is in the crowd tonight. So you love to see it. A lot of support for number 3 out there.
Hand in the passing lane. And trip from behind. Oh, that was Donovan getting the steal, and then Pitts got tripped up. How about this D?
Yeah, just great anticipation again. The deflection with the outside arm in the right position. And now Jaden Donovan is a player who, since her freshman season, she's developing great ball handling skills. So if she would have made that play her freshman year, she might have wanted to look to give it up and find a guard. But instead, here she is needing that fast break like, I'm comfortable doing it.
At 6 feet, the sophomore, you're right. You see her so often, her defense right into offense, able to bring it up as Mayer gets the shooter's touch.
Tiana Mayer, player who's had 17 assists, the 1 turnover the last couple of games, can put up 20-25, so that it's another player who can give you 20 on a night.
And that's something Coach Lawson said she's gotten better at managing. When do you need me to score? When do they need me to dish it off? She's got to manage this team, and she's gotten so much better at it.
Yeah. Well, she's been on, you know, programs where she's had to be the main scorer and shooter, and this is a team where she can do either.
Shot clock down to 3, and some help D at the high hedge, almost forcing the turnover instead. SMU will keep it. First foul on Mayer. Kara Lawson in her 5th season. Really impressed with how her team is buying into the kind of defense that she wants this group. She's also starting in your 5th year getting to put together the kind of team that you want to put together.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, she comes from, you know, some of the strongest defense known to this game under Pat Summitt. Yep. So that's the system that she learned. And of course, has just been able to continue that mindset and system into the WNBA as a player, and now Duke as a coach. So you think about players who are staying together. The shot clock's running down here. Let's see if Pitts can get one off. She does. Oh, the bucket's tight for SMU sometimes.
Had the right look, but just couldn't finish. They'll say off of SMU, it'll go the other direction. But the right idea. Brow, who got the start tonight, will come back in.
You know, but you could see how when things are really clicking for Duke, both on the defensive end, the offensive end, your bench is contributing. That's what makes them such a dangerous team, and a team that Kara Lawson can look at and say, like, okay, they are running exactly the way, what I want, or they're just doing it on their own. I think she's been able to look to her bench at times and say, like, wow, this team is clicking on all cylinders.
Well, they certainly were this past weekend. A win against 18 Cal and a win against Stanford. They were in control of both of those, as that one gets partially blocked. Brown will bring it up. They called Peterson with a foul, her first on that other possession at the other end. But Duke not able to get anything out of it. Brown with the play call. Helped D at the right time, and that quick pass. Robertson, the hesitation. Shot won't drop. Donovan trying to post inside. She was working on the interior. Donavia Hall's checked in and was trying to post her up.
And you can see Robertson disappointed with herself for not hitting that shot, but a terrific bounce back effort to go and get that deflection. Like, that's what I want to see. If I'm Toyelle Wilson, I don't care. I mean, I care that you missed the shot. Don't get me wrong. But if you're not going to, then make up for it the best way you can.
Yep. Bringing some hustle at the other end. Thomas smothered by the D. They kick it out, and the shot from Richardson, no, but another chance. Duke, a very good offensive rebounding team.
They just played tip horse with the rebound. I don't know if you caught that. Two players jumped up and passed it to each other.
That one's so close, but won't fall. Good look, but a bit of a drought. A little over 2 minutes without a score for Duke.
This weave action from SMU before Donovan smashes that ball out of bounds. That weave action has probably been some of their better offense as well, because once they drive, then a player can fill in on that backside, and then they can get that second rotation that they need.
Fournier back on for Duke. Numbers on the season, and already 8 points. Makes it just, she was out there less than 4 minutes in the first quarter and has 8 points.
That's light work now.
Right?
Yeah, she's only going to get better, and I could definitely see 25 points a game come nightly for her.
High hedge, ball tipped. Now Brow, shot clock down. Fader in the paint, no good. And there's Peterson, almost a takeaway. Instead, Duke gonna push. Wow. The quickness and the composure at the end, but not able to finish, was Jackson.
You know, a very difficult move. I'm surprised she was able to get open, too. I mean, Brown defended that well. She met her up and forced her to go left.
Peterson challenged by Thomas. Excellent D by the sophomore. Fournier, we saw her take the baseline earlier, not able to take it that time, as Woods was able to close it off. Robertson, the quickness, and not able to finish, and her hands on her head because she knows that one would have been a big one.
Yeah, and I get that, right? I mean, you're just so frustrated in a game like this. You look up, you're like, you're down 8. Like, I got to do everything I can to keep this close. And Peterson, who's working as hard as she can, trying to keep up. But, you know, she's somebody, again, she needs to have that other post Embry in there to help her out. But so far tonight, Woods has done a good job stepping in.
Yep. You are right. Yeah, Embry, the junior, averaging 12.7 rebounds a game. They lost her at the Cal game. Fournier keeps it alive. Lefty layup. No good. And another offensive rebound and the putback. Economo and a 7-0 run for Duke.
They are relentless on the glass. I mean, we talk about how good SMU is at offensive rebounding. When you combine, you know, the athleticism with the hustle and just the desire, this is why Duke is such a hard team to play against.
They're 20th in the nation in offensive rebounds, averaging 15 a game. SMU 13th in the nation in offensive rebounding, averaging 16 a game. Shot clock. Wow, and the perfect look. And a nice job by Magaliko to step into the opening. Lays it up good.
And it's plays like that that earned Ella Brow a starting spot.
They needed the experience. Wow. Magaliko says, get it out of here. Timeout, second quarter action. SMU not going anywhere. Forced. It's something they love to do. I mean, just name a defensive category and they pretty much lead the ACC in them. Second in blocks as well. But our officials tonight, Billy Smith, Cameron Inouye, and Lisa Jones, they were taking a look at the clock. It had stopped. It froze back at about the 5-minute mark, so they've added 19 seconds to it. Both teams have gone to their benches as well. Duke getting some nice production off the bench. As beautiful square up and finish. That's Mayer with the bucket. 5 points for Taina Mayer.
You know, she's somebody that you just trust with the ball in her hands and such a good playmaker. You know, but if there's a big three, you know, she's somebody that can sneak behind the defense, get open and give you one.
Well, you don't always think of her out there, but she is such a capable scorer.
Yes.
And you better, if you're SMU, recognize it. There's a switch up high on Robertson. She hit one earlier, clock down to 1, recognizing, and excellent defense by Konawa. She was ready to get out on the fast break after.
I'm laughing at Kara Lawson's reaction. She had to turn away, felt like her defense had a fast break opportunity here. Look at Alucia Konawa. Can you think of anybody else more of a nightmare to guard? Or Hannah Hidalgo comes to mind immediately as well. But wow, Konawa, that length and just the intensity at which she plays defense.
Oh, I mean, just
panicking as a ball handler immediately.
Looking inside, Fournier gets bumped, and we'll go to the free throw line. Konawa, though, you can't even say enough about every little thing she does right there, looking inside and getting it to Fournier.
What I love about it is she wants to make an impact defensively immediately. I mean, that's where she's known, you know, to have earned her reputation. So as she works through being more confident and calm on offense, she can always count on her defense.
8 points for Fournier. And the first free throw good. Hey, gymnastics comes your way Sunday afternoon here on ACC Network as 15th ranked Stanford squares off against number 25 Pitt at Fitzgerald Fieldhouse in Pittsburgh. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern. Both free throws good for Fournier. That's an area of her game that's really improved as we now see some full court pressure from the Blue Devils. She was down in about the 50-some-odd% range to start the season, and that's what that defensive pressure will make you do as well. Quicken the pace a bit too much.
But you know what, though? Here's what I liked about the play. Peterson has been working her tail off in this game, and I've seen her talk to herself in frustration of just not finishing a shot or catching the ball. And Brown immediately went to her and dabbed her up and was like, don't worry about it, you got it. And then look what happens on the other end. She keeps her position because she received that energy and that strength from Brown. So she stayed strong and put Duke in a bad spot to get a turnover.
Yep, they call the travel. Here's some of the full court pressure. Trying to frazzle Brow, but the experienced guard brings it up, able to break it. Konawa trying to stick with Robertson, a little too much on him, but Peterson on the weak side, but cannot finish. Goodness, Konawa so fast, but composed for the finish. And Toya Wilson has seen enough. She does not like the start after that last time out.
The fast break, Konawa in control. Look at that angle she takes just through everybody.
Extending the lead to double digits. This is their largest of the game, but it has been close the majority of the way, but a 7-0 run helped them extend it out before that timeout. See what Coach Wilson drew up for the Mustangs. Peterson inside, Fournier sticking with her, got a piece of that one. Peterson doing all she can. Able to save it, another chance.
I mean, that just shows you her talents right there. misses the shot, but is still able to pursue the offensive rebound and get right back into the play. These shots are going to start falling for her soon.
Yeah, she had multiple defenders smothering her, and now again against Fournier.
Oh my goodness.
And just couldn't quite get the angle. You got to give credit to the defense of Duke. Fournier, the trail and the finish.
Well, that makes it tough because you see Fournier being able to beat Peterson down after having spent so much energy going after those boards.
Yeah.
It's a difference. And that's a place where Kara Lawson thought that they might be able to have some opportunities with the way that their post players run.
Yeah, you're right. She said if we can get out and run,
yeah,
we could have an advantage, and they have so far. 12 points for Fournier. She leads all scorers. Robertson, the quick crossover, the high floater, and she gets fouled and will go to the line. Toya Wilson looking to her coaching staff, trying to make some tweaks, find some answers. Peterson's going to get a rest. Magaliko back on. Foul on Okonwa, her first. As SMU needs some scoring, a 9-0 run for Duke, and no points the last 3:40 for SMU. Let's see if Robertson can change that right here. Gets the first. Transfer from George Washington, one of 7 transfers in. SMU, a very different looking team for Coach Wilson from a season ago.
Well, she's a player who also came from a program where she was the primary scorer, ball handler, everything. So
yeah,
the adjustment, you know, to being a facilitator, to involving her teammates a little earlier, that's coming along well for Robertson, who can still give you 20 or 30.
Yeah, that's probably been the toughest transition for her, is figuring out when to make that extra pass, to make that right decision as that one gets swatted out of play. We're under a minute left in the first half. 16 on the shot clock. Okonwa off the bench with 9 points. Fournier tosses it up. Okonwa keeps it alive. Jackson still got the hot hand out there.
Was there ever any doubt? I mean, the second that ball left the fingertips, it was right in front of our line of vision. It was a beautiful looking shot.
Oh, if she's squared up, she's capable, and she gets that one to go. 12 points, 4 of 6 behind the arc for Ashlon Jackson. And now a steal. And the final seconds ticking down in this first half. Jackson looking to Coach Lawson for the play call. High screen from Fournier. Another one. Uh-oh. Back-to-back threes for Ashlon Jackson. And those hurt. Momentum going in at halftime for Duke.
It's the confidence in Jackson. Look out.
Oh.
Gotta feel good.
Not easy to get out on the road, and for Duke, this is the first of 3 in a row for them. They'll go to Georgia Tech, they'll get a bye week, and then they'll have to head to NC State after that. Curl into the paint, shot from Jackson won't go. And if you're SMU, gotta find some more offense. Peterson has had a struggle from scoring. They need her to find something and get going, but it's difficult with the defense.
Yeah, the first thing you have to do is take care of the basketball, right? You can't have the swing plays that Toya Wilson talks about where it's a turnover to a big 3 or, you know, an and one. Basically some transition as Pitts gets called for her second foul. SMU was able to get quality looks.
Yeah.
The ball just did not get in. I mean, Peterson specifically, just so many close touches, and she's worked her way, you know, back. Every single time she's missed a shot, she's tried to make up for it. So, you know, really appreciate her energy and the way she's played in this game despite not hitting a lot of shots.
Yeah, the hustle has been there, but just not able to finish. And now another long rebound. Delaney Thomas gives Duke another chance. Donovan, this is Mayer. Loses the D and sticks it. Reading the defense, that's something Coach Lawson talked with us about. She said our movement, our execution, if we can read the screens properly, I would say they've done a nice job with that so far.
High-level read, not only you drive, you spin, you got the turnaround jump shot, and that looks smooth.
Junior out of Boston. Transfer from BC back in 2024, and a jump ball. It will stay with SMU. That was Peterson.
Here's Mayer. Jaden Donovan passes over Mayer, just spins away from the defense and stays in balance. That's a hard shot to hit.
It sure was. Gives her the space, fading back.
Fading away baseline to shoot that right-handed? Yeah, okay.
Peterson, baby hook. I love it. Doesn't fall, though. Jackson asking for the high screen. Instead, decides to drive it left, and she gets bumped. She's going to go to the free throw line. First foul on Duke, and the second, or on Peterson, excuse me, second on SMU as well. First one's good, Ashlon Jackson. She's from China, Texas. It's a town in between Houston and Beaumont, Texas. A few hours away. Gets them both. Had a little bit of a lull back to start the season, but she's such an important piece to this team, and she's gotten her confidence. She's been more aggressive. That's kind of the goal, and that's what her role has to be out there.
She's just been a great source of leadership also for this team.
Yeah. Started every single game. Brow with her second start on the season. Up top. Helped in the and one. Ella Brow. How did she even get that one to go?
Read my mind. I'm gonna have to watch this again. Look how low she gets. Hang time. Okay, Ella Brow. She said, I will do anything not to get my shot rejected by Jaden Donovan. Come on.
That's right. And they give the foul to Richardson, her second, and she'll go to the free throw line. One of the three captains on this team. Palm Beach, Australia, and gets the three-point play. Maybe that's a little momentum shifter that SMU needs.
Well, I like, too, after she hit the shot, she went right back to Peterson, her teammates, and it was kind of like, come on, you guys, we can do this. Not like, hey, celebrate me and my shot. She was like, we got to get this together.
Yep, they're going to have to chip away, and she knows it's going to take more than just her production. Now Brow trying to stick with Jackson, and the hand check call going to go against her. That'll be her second, and the team's third. Somebody with a mismatch, and finally Mayer was open for a second, and she's paired up with Kasia Woods, who's going to pick that foul up. That'll be the fourth team foul also, but with 7.5 left, that could be a big plus for Duke if they can get to the line this early.
Yeah, we may see SMU change over, perhaps see his own defense go back in like we saw early on in the game.
First free throw good for Mayer. Hey, Monday night, the ACC Huddle Crew will reveal this season's ACC football schedule. They'll break down each team and look at the key weeks and specific matchups. That's Monday at 9 Eastern here on ACC Network, the simulcast on ESPN2. Fournier will check back in. Jaden Donovan will take a seat. 12 points for Fournier off the bench. Perfect from the free throw line, and Duke matching up full court. Robertson back on for SMU. Shot from Woods off the mark. The defense stayed with her that time and did not get the open look that I think she thought she was going to get.
This has been a tough start to the third quarter as well for SMU. Only scored 4 points in the second. Now they're just at 3 points here.
Really remarkable defense from Duke to shut them down that second quarter, and they brought it back with them after halftime. Brow stepping into the three, too much. One rebound, and that's Jackson.
I think SMU's shooting too quickly. Those were 2 quick shots on the possession. And meanwhile, you know, the way that Duke works it in, go inside and out, they're playing patience. So you're going to burn energy on the defensive end just to shoot a quick shot on offense.
Yeah, that's a great point. And we've seen this SMU team, when they make that second and third pass, what it will open up for them. And they have not been as patient as of late to do just that. Robertson trying to lose the D. Help was there. Much better patience on this possession for SMU. Robertson, help D, and there's the extra pass. Brow off the back of the rim once again.
It's the best shot you could have asked for in that possession, though.
It was the right idea. Fournier on the drive-in one. Outrunning, and she's going to go to the stripe, and the crowd loving it.
I know you held your breath for a half second thinking, could this be the night? We see her throw one down.
Yep.
Ella Brow did her best to try to grab the ball on the way up, but Fournier and Brow, there's a little exchange afterwards. A little friendly competition, I like it.
Kylie Marshall's going to check in for the first time, the sophomore out of Mansfield, Texas. As Peterson takes a seat, Brow picked up her 3rd personal, so she's going to have to sit down as well. Fournier, who's been known to dunk the basketball. We saw her do it in warm-ups. Doesn't get the 3-point play, but another rebound for Delaney Thomas.
Good ball fake.
Oh. Wow, all the way to the other side. Okonawa can't get it to drop.
I think she could have finished that play on the right-hand side, though. A little extra movement. Here comes Jackson, quick hands. Here comes a highlight.
Oh, they call the travel.
Oh, okay.
But that is what Duke would love to do every opportunity, is get the steal and get out running. They're just so quick,
right?
Almost too quick right there.
I mean, so much pressure. Even though you're able to get the ball inbounds and across half court, it's still disruptive.
Shot from Jones won't go. Another rebound for Thomas. Just the 5th turnover of the game for Duke, as Mayer weaves her way in and finds the opening. She's in double figures with 11. 3 players for Duke in double digits. And nobody yet for SMU. Magaliko steps in and gets the foul to go her way. She'll go to the free throw line when we return. Duke on a 6-0 run. They've got the lead here, 56-28. Fairly young team, but they gained so much experience. 4 players back from their Sweet 16 team, 4 starters back rather, and they brought that experience with them from a year ago.
And you have talent with veteran leadership, and so, you know, for a player as young as Toby Fournier, but also having had the international experience and the exposure that she's had.
Yeah.
I mean, she's growing so quickly that, you know, you can tell, and you're right, she's really enjoying herself, loving the game. A couple of 20-point games in the ACC already as a freshman. That's impressive to me. It's incredible.
Yeah, it certainly is. Free throws wouldn't fall for Magaliko. She was fouled prior to the timeout. And that one won't go, but cleaning things up. Jaden Donovan with the extra effort.
And the immediate full court pressure that leads to a steal. This is Duke basketball.
It is. This defense, they are taking pride in it. And that was something Coach Lawson said. We needed it after last year's team losing in the Sweet 16, that their defense had to be better. Well, it has definitely improved from a season ago.
And Jaden Donovan got about 5 rebounds just in that possession alone. Boy, SMU is needing her back in the ballgame for sure. Jess Peterson, a scoring drought now of almost 4 minutes.
Woods will take a seat. Denavia Hall back in. Magaliko as well, and some frustration from Coach Wilson. Saying, let's go. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Jesus fakes one way, fakes the other, gets it.
Well, one of the few players Kara Lawson didn't recruit. That's DeJesus was there from when Lawson took over the job, I should say, and somebody that she really just loves just as much as if she did recruit her. It feels like she fits in great with the team.
Yeah, grad student from Valencia, California. Was out injured last season, didn't play, had the knee injury, but they've gotten her back. Good experience off the bench. She's played every single game. And Peterson, boy, trying to post up. Fournier is going to get called over the back. Almost had the steal. Team's third. And for Fournier, that's her second.
All right, I'm taking a wild guess here. DeJesus out there is one of your upperclassmen and leaders, right? Now, I'm not saying Fournier didn't go over the back, but I'm also saying when she shot that three, she immediately looked and was like, where's the foul? I didn't get the foul, right?
Yep.
So you're also not doing yourself any favors by saying things like that. And she'll learn that as a freshman. I mean, I was not like that way as a senior. So, you know, she's much smarter than me, more talented. So she'll definitely learn that. But I think that's what DeJesus might have been saying.
Fournier, the contortionist, able to weave her way up and good.
We talked about her balance, and I just continue to be so impressed. At her size, at 6'2", to stay that much in balance, she has definitely been working on that.
Yeah, coordination, stays low.
Strong in her core.
Yeah.
Like, you can just tell she's strong in her core.
Jones, she's been kind of quiet. Peterson in the high post. That one rattles around and won't fall. High pick, the roll. Donovan, the extra pass. How about another out to the right side? That one won't go. And Peterson thought she had the board instead. The hustle from Duke, and miscue down low will turn it over and send it the other way. A scrappy effort, though, by every single player out there for Duke.
Right? Everybody in a gray jersey is trying to rip and run to go get that rebound.
Ashlon Jackson getting some love. She'll get a rest. The offensive rebounding differential, 15 of them for Duke. And 19 second chance points.
That's huge. I mean, you think about 24 points off of 15 turnovers. I mean, that is maximizing at its best.
And Peterson, 0 for 9 before that make right there. It's been that kind of a night that she's been facing.
Yeah, she's really been working so hard out there and hasn't dropped her head.
Yeah.
Hasn't gotten frustrated other than just trying to make the next play. And Pitts might have gotten hurt. Yeah, she didn't. She landed kind of awkwardly.
Slow to get up at midcourt, but Duke taking their time. Shot clock down to 6. Oh, and by the way, Fournier can also hit the three.
So now all we're missing is the dunk. Like, it's inevitable.
It is. You put it out there, Brooke. I can feel it. Peterson trying to add. Finally, back-to-back buckets for Jessica Peterson.
Glad to see those go down for her.
Yeah, she needed those. 4.7 rebounds. With a minute remaining in the third quarter. And the cable on for Duke. Fournier. The strength and composure, the fake on the left side, takes it all the way to the other.
I love how she caught it back to the basket, turned and face, made the move, and just goes all the way under the basket for the finish.
21 points for Fournier. Had 23 last weekend against Cal. Her career high is 27. Did that against Virginia Tech this season. This quarter alone, Brooke, she's had 9.
Well, she's able to take so many players one-on-one off that bounce, stretch out the defense, hit the three. I mean, the matchup that she presents. I mean, she continues to work on her game. She could be, I mean, you could eventually put her at the three, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
That's something that Duke, if Coach Lawson said if they're missing anything, it's the longer, bigger post player right now, and they have one in Ariana Robertson at 6'4", an incredible freshman that played over the summer with Team USA, but ended up getting injured in that process as well.
You know, somebody who could really shore up the paint, and somebody who Kara Lawson thought would get some very impactful playing time.
Yep, certainly so. Brow to the line, first free throw good. Hey, tonight, right after our game here on ACC Network, the Nothing But Net crew, they're going to break it down. Tonight in the ACC with highlights and analysis. Look ahead at the best matchups of the weekend. Love the breakdowns, and they've got a lot to be breaking down this season. What a season it has become. And there's a lot left.
Yeah, it's hard to believe we're almost to the end of January here. So it feels like the longest month, but you talk about ACC play and the problems that each team presents. This league runs deep.
Skip all the way across. That's a dagger right there. Lucci Akanawa to finish off the quarter.
I mean, you work for a single-digit quarter, right?
Yeah.
To get two back-to-back?
Yep.
Could they go 3 in a row?
Well,
honestly, that's what I'm saying if I'm Kara Lawson in the huddle. Like, look, we've held this team to 13 points in 20 minutes of basketball. What can we do now?
First quarter, SMU did what they needed to do. They came out, they got some shots to go, but then the defense really clamped down, and we can't say enough about this Duke defense and how impressive it's been as they, as you said, only gave up 4 and then 9 after that.
Robertson came down hard. She's still shaking up a little bit, holding on to that right side of her jaw.
Ashlon Jackson, that'll be her second. Let's see if we can see it here. Ooh.
Oh yeah, just ran right into Jackson. That forearm shiver to the face.
Duke with 4 players in double figures, and there's Coach Toya Wilson. She's been trying to make adjustments. She's gone to her bench, trying to find some answers. They finally got Peterson with a couple of buckets in the third quarter. Now they're going to give some pressure.
You know, I think had some of those shots fallen for Peterson, this SMU offense, others would have felt a little of that relief as well. I think it got stuck with that, and then everybody else kind of picked up that tension. In addition to Duke raising the level of their defense, full court press, I mean, it's just a nightmare.
I think you're right. You know, she was 0 for 9 before she had that first bucket to go. And, you know, she knows it. You know, the team can feel it because she's one of their leaders that averages a double-double, and she's had yet to score until the third quarter. Pitts picks up her third personal.
And also, Duke's managed the basketball so well tonight, just 6 turnovers as a team.
Yeah, they're averaging 16 a game. They did an exceptional job. Big difference, 15 to SMU, and 19 second chance points off of them. Delaney Thomas gets the first, sophomore out of Charlestown, West Virginia. She's become a better communicator for this team. They've needed that. Gets them both. Worked on her strength and conditioning in the offseason. She's come in much stronger.
Yeah, you get a sense that, you know, every player is so dedicated to that. I mean, at a D1 level, you don't really have a choice. You're not going to last too long if you're not.
Yep.
You know, the level of conditioning, their post players, you can just see, you know, that's really contributed to them having some advantages. And Peterson, somebody who's so strong and has gotten better and more stamina throughout her career as well. You know, she shows her strength in interactional strength. She can hold off defenders almost as good as anybody in the league.
She sure can. Donovan picks up the foul. It's her first. And Peterson off the mark there. We've got 3 more women's games for you Sunday here on ACC Network. Noon Eastern, it's Florida State. They take on 13th ranked North Carolina. And then at 2, BC taking on Wake Forest. And we'll wrap things up at 6 Eastern with Virginia Tech and number 20, NC State in Raleigh.
Man, I just literally want to go out to Jess Peterson, just pat her on the shoulder and be like, just keep going. Like, you got this.
And again, no Shante Embry, a junior that averages 12.7 rebounds. She's one of those starters that they lost with the injury about 6 games ago, and just a tough loss for them. And you see her sitting cheering on the team. It's so hard to watch when you're such an impact player like she is.
Yeah.
And so it takes time to get used to, okay, we've now lost some experience in production and some pressure, a trap, but a foul call.
And Embry gives you 12 points a game, as you can see there. Shoots well from the floor, 7 rebounds. And, you know, we were here the night she got injured against Cal. It was just a weird play. She got rolled up on in the back of her leg, and then that was it. And you could tell she was working so hard to try to stay out there on the floor, just couldn't do it. And, you know, our best wishes to her to get better. She's definitely a huge loss for this program. And she was so disruptive in the paint that she could create space for Peterson to move around.
She sure could. She'd step out behind the arc as well. She's one of the captains on this team. As Duke was able to break that pressure and get a bucket out of it. And Peterson can't get that one to go. Duke keeps pushing and running. And Robertson, good transition D by her to knock it out of play. It'll stay with Duke. These teams have only met up one time. It was back in a tournament in Cancun in 2006. Duke got the win there. But they're going to see one another a lot more now with SMU in the ACC. Jackson shot no good. Offensive rebound, Donovan. Her instincts are so good when the shot goes up. Little body bump. No whistle. Good decision by Robertson. Thought she was going to maybe take that quick shot instead.
Yeah, you still want to execute. This interesting lineup, actually, with SMU. Smaller. You got all 3 guards in here, as well as Hall, who doesn't have much size either.
Shot clock down to 3. Hall, quick shot. And Robertson was on the in line. It was a nice idea. He was trying to knock it off the Duke player. Here's Fournier back in for the Blue Devils. Thomas and Jackson will take a seat. Luann Battystone, the sophomore from Belgium, will come in, her 9th game this year. Duke trying to get their 7th ACC win, their 16th overall. Close loss at ranked Maryland early in the season. They had a very tough non-conference schedule, and it's something that Coach Lawson talked about, saying, I needed this team to see how they would respond when you go up, when things get tough, when you're playing teams like this, before they get into ACC play. Because you want to see the tendencies. How do I react? How do I respond?
Exactly.
So they can work on it and fix it. Magalico reads the D, gets it to go.
She's been very impressive tonight. I mean, mainly with her defense. You've seen her block quite a few shots with authority.
Senior out of Mozambique, a transfer from Arizona State. High post jumper is good. Jaden Donovan with the score.
You know, this is a lineup where, you know, Reagan Richardson, you have her leadership, Donovan, who's becoming just a nightmare of a player, and then Toby Fournier, your freshman out there. So I like it. This is an opportunity for, you know, Duke's 2nd unit, even into their 3rd unit, to be able to get some reps and get that experience in ACC play.
Yeah, you're not seeing a drop-off, you know, and that's a big, big plus, as that one won't go for Jones. They're a team with balance. We talked about that a little bit earlier. With 8 different players have led them in scoring, and as it drops to Fournier and she finishes, 9 different players have scored in double figures at one point. So they've got options as far as scoring goes.
How about that's a 21st assist for Duke on 29 field goals? Yeah. That is impressive. And meanwhile, SMU struggling from that end only because a lot of shots haven't fallen. I think they've had one of their better teamwork games tonight. Just 9 assists, though, for the Mustangs. That's not going to get it done.
Wow, the length of Donovan and some contact after. And the
fans are right behind us, as y'all can probably tell.
A foul call and not getting it.
Let's go take another look at this contact here in the physical game after Donovan gets the tip.
Yep.
All right, you know, Donovan didn't really run into her. I thought Robertson kind of got in her path.
Foul on Brow, her 4th. 5.5 left in the game. Jordan Wood back on. Here is Konawa. What a spark she was off the bench. And the give and go, a little pick and roll, and the finish from Jordan Wood. Fournier, you can hear her talking in the high post on the defense.
That's what you want to hear. You still want to hear your players out there being loud and vocal, and then you want to hear a spirited bench.
Yep.
They're the ones doing it for the starters when they're out there, so you want to receive that same energy.
Fournier with 23 points, her 5th 20-plus. Certainly hope that they can get another fire that has started out there contained as well. It just seems as though it's just continuing on as we continue on here in this 4th quarter, just under 5 minutes remaining, and it's really been all Duke. They're on a 6-0 run. See if SMU has an answer. They get another offensive rebound and another chance. We've just had a tough time since the 1st quarter to get some consistent offense, and you got to give a lot of credit to Duke's defense.
Absolutely, right? And now just 4 points here in the 4th quarter. So Duke has the possibility to try to go 3 quarters in a row, holding a team to single digits. I would have to think that's got to be some kind of defensive record.
Yeah, I would think so. Batty Stone up high, guarded by Hall. And the switch, that's Pitts. The reach in, she gets the steal, and a foul is going to be called on Duke. So SMU not giving up. They're still bringing some scrappy effort on the defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, SMU has not, this score is not because of a lack of effort from SMU, not at all. I mean, they've actually executed quite well, especially that 1st quarter through defense, and just been outmatched of talent and size, speed from Duke tonight.
SMU breaking the Duke pressure, but not able to get that one to fall. It's the shot from Hall. Fournier gets pushed outside just a bit. Pitts will bring it up. Robertson. High archer, no good. SMU's going to hit the road as well. They have to go to Miami next, and then they will face Louisville back here on the home court. There are no gimmies in the ACC. No easy way out.
Yeah, none at all. You have to face so many different calibers of talent, different styles of play.
Yeah.
So much, potential pros in the ACC.
I mentioned earlier Duke at Georgia Tech. That's going to be a fun one. Georgia Tech, legit.
And Carnegie back, we saw her in action back from that hamstring injury, so much needed. And of course, was one of the players who mattered a lot. Georgia Tech coming off those 3 straight losses, so having her back critical. But yeah, this is a tough stretch here.
It certainly is on the road, and it's SMU facing number 18 Georgia Tech on February 6th. And the jumper there for Robertson is good. 10 points, the first Mustang in double figures. Much needed score there, just under 3 minutes remaining. Duke can finish this off. They will have now won 4 in a row. Shot short. Zanai Jones. Marshall finally finds Magaliko, and she'll get a chance for the three-point play.
I like the screen and roll action, and again, another good possession for SMU. You know, their effort level's still high. Good read through the ball screen, double team, and then try to find the pass down low for SMU, who's just searching for any positives they can take into the locker room.
Kara Lawson having a chat with Emma Cable, junior out of Ontario, Canada. Three-point play is good for Magaliko, a player that's picking up more and more minutes without Shantae Embry now.
Well, she earned more minutes tonight, no doubt about it.
Fournier brought it down. Marshall was there, but too much. Duke in the bonus, and we'll go to the line. Fournier with 23, trying to add to it.
It'll be an interesting race for ACC Freshman of the Year.
Yeah, it sure will.
We just talked about Carnegie, so she's up there as well as Fournier.
The young talent is so impressive. I mean, they just don't play like first-year players.
Not at all, no.
This is the free throw, but crashing the boards. Jordan Wood keeps it alive for Duke.
You know, what's been cool to watch about a player like Fournier is her ability to catch up to the speed of the game. Something that no high school player, I don't care what level you played at, I mean, very few can adjust to how fast the game feels once you get to the D1 level and get started. Her progress from the start of the season till now is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. It's a whole different level no matter how many accolades you have coming in. And you have to wonder, too, some of the international play that she had, being part of the Canadian national team, has helped her in that regard. Marshall trying to get a bit closer and could not get it to drop. Duke trying to run and too much on it. The turnover will give it back.
Okay, this is my last point about the dunk, this is where I think it could also happen too. It doesn't even have to be a fast break for Fournier. I feel like she can get it on a putback. Like, she can put back dunk it.
Yeah. Like
opposite side, come in, helps out, like boom!
Right?
Just throw it down. It's gonna happen.
Yep, it's gonna happen. I agree. With a minute 12 remaining, will it happen here? That is the question.
I don't know. We got end of game legs now,
yeah,
Krista. I don't know.
Yep. Might not. Still a pretty impressive performance for Fournier.
Yeah.
With 24 points, 7 boards. And another whistle on the drive, just under a minute left in the game. Now they're going to call an offensive foul on Batty Stone. And full court pressure from Duke.
I'm going to tell you what, though, if I'm Duke, I'm defending for my life right now.
Yep.
I can hold this team to 9 points in the fourth quarter. Not that they'd ever take a playoff anyways. Look for that extra motivation. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, for 3 straight quarters, potentially holding SMU to below double-digit scoring. And a takeaway by Batty Stone. And she needs help.
Yeah, she does.
Tried to knock it off of Marshall. Instead, the turnover, long rebound. And that's Cox who's come in. Marshall with a big 3. And not able to do it thanks to that one. SMU up 1 point in this quarter.
Yeah, meanwhile, Duke hasn't had any field goals the last 5 minutes.
Yep. But they've had plenty this entire game.
They have.
And they will go to 16-4 overall, 7-1 in ACC play. Kara Lawson gets her 84th win as the head